Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. We have lots to celebrate today. Young people making waves and making us proud. We'll tell you about it later. I'm Denise Tan.
Ako naman po si Lourdes de Vera. These days, ang daming basag trip. Kaya let's zero in on the good news. At yan naman ang dapat ma-highlight. Ito po ang Afternoon Delight.
Thursday, March 27, ang ating delight of the day ay pork barbecue with rice.
Bakit naman?
Bakit? Dahil ito lang naman ang paboritong Pinoy food ni star tennis player Alex Eala.
Oo. Okay. So alam natin, a few days ago, she made history.
Yes.
At recently, may ginawa na naman yung ate natin.
Okay, so match after match, Alex Eala is making history. She defeated world number 2 Iga Swiatek at the Miami Open quarterfinals. Alex now moves on to the semifinals of the event. Here's the soundbite from her after that historic victory.
I don't know what to say. I'm in complete just disbelief right now, and I'm on cloud 9. So thank you everybody who came to watch. And thanks to everyone who's watching from home.
Yan ang totoong Cloud9. Yung mga ganyang achievements. Yung Cloud9 natin, yung Cloud9 antipolo lang yun.
So again, balikan natin. Itong si Alex Eala, yung una niya kasing tinalo. So just to remind everyone, 3 Grand Slam champions yun.
Lang naman.
Oo. So yung una niya tinalo is Jelena Ostapenko, world rank number 25. Then she beat Madison Keys, ranked number 5 in the world. And yung pinaka-recent nga, kaninang madaling araw is Iga Swiatek, ranked number 2.
Oo, yung isang binanggit mo, sinasabi parang may injury daw, may sakit.
Hindi pa.
Hindi
so
pa yun.
after ni Madison Keys, ang nag-forfeit ng match is si Paula Badosa from Spain. Kasi she got an injury sa match niya prior to her match dapat with Alex. Yun.
So makikita mo talaga na yung nag-pay off yung training niya under Rafael Nadal. At ang mga atleta talaga natin, kapag nakakapagsanay sa labas ng Pilipinas, talagang lalong na-enhance talaga yung kanilang mga natural na talento.
Siyempre, nagkakaroon ka ng idea, different styles of play, as well as yung
Hindi
level.
mo pwede makita sa mga YouTube lang yung mga ganyan.
Siyempre, kailangan may execution. Sabi nga nila, diba, practice, hindi daw totoo yung practice makes perfect, practice makes permanent. So kung kaya mo i-practice yung certain styles, certain, ano ba tawag doon, mga hits and all that, sarang second nature mo na pag nakita mo, hindi mo na iisipin.
Yun ang idea talaga ng practice.
Practice.
So, execution. Tamo. Once upon a time,
Nako.
marami ring execution sa Pilipinas.
Huy,
pero wag na natin pag-usapan
teka lang. Ito, pag-usapan pa rin natin. Ito, our social media stories of the day. Of course, Alex Eala, like we mentioned, on Cloud9, nadinig natin sa kanya. But on the Philippine Star, ito po yung headline. Alex Eala continues to make Philippine tennis history again after beating Iga Swiatek in straight sets, 6-2 and 7-5 on Wednesday. So Eala has defeated, like I mentioned earlier, 3 former Grand Slam champions in a row sa Miami Open. Only the second wild card to defeat 3 Grand Slam winners in a single Women's Tennis Association level event. So isa sa mga nag-react is si Rafa Nadal himself. Ang tweet niya is Alex Eala actually trained in the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain.
You know?
Iga Swiatek in post-match press con said also, the truth is, she went all out. She made those returns quite long and it wasn't easy to return those shots. Plus, she was very relaxed and went all out. She felt the rhythm was good and that helped her. And a lot of these shots were coming out of nowhere, but I could still clearly see that she was trying to push forward and pressure me. So it worked out pretty well for her.
Yun, Uso pa ba ngayon yung mga sumisigaw habang pumapalo ng backhand or mga difficult na mga
Kasama yun sa
volleys?
lahat ng, kahit sa ibang sport, madidinig mo yan sa volleyball, ganyan din sinisigaw.
Kasi alam ko si McEnroe, nagsisigaw talaga
ibang
yun
sigaw
pag hindi niya gusto yung call ng
Oo.
umpire.
May kasamang,
Yung mother! Paks!
Yaw.
Sabay sira yung
iba yun.
Pero uso pa ba ngayon yung nagsusuot ng mga headband para mga Bjorn Borg ng mga 70s?
I think it depends, what feels comfortable for you. Kasi like ako personally, hindi ako nasanay ng may headband or kahit anong headgear. But there are also some players na kailangan may headband, may wristband, di ba? Or meron yung mga armbands. Depende yun sa kung what you need and what you feel comfortable with.
Correct. So si Alex Eala ay may visor. Tama tawag dyan, visor ba yan?
Mainit daw eh. Actually, yung may match kanina, both players, kalimutan ko tuloy, hindi ko alam kung sino nauna sa kanilang dalawa. They were saying na parang napapaupo na, almost fainted daw.
Yes, sobrang init.
Sa sobrang init.
Saan ulit ginaganap ito?
Miami
Sa
Open,
Miami,
oo.
So yung Mallorca, Spain ay hindi rin na medyo tropical ang climb doon, di ba? So sakto lang din yung training niya, isang medyo mainit-init na lugar. Konti. Oo. Okay, so ang galing ni Alex Eala, ilang taon lang siya?
19.
19. So
Ito yung
gagaling pa lalo yan.
That's what we hope, no? That will happen. Ito yung binamention ko kanina, si Jessica Pegula and Emma Raducanu. Sila yung naglaban din kanina sa quarterfinals. Tapos sila yung sinasabi sa reports na grabe na daw yung yung epekto sa kanila ng init.
Yung init.
Oo, nung init.
Si Ana Kournikova ba mga kalaban pa niya?
Okay na. Parang hindi na... Bakit? Yun ba ang sinundan mo before?
Oo. Tsaka yung isa pa.
Sharapova kasi yung... Ay, hindi.
Maria Sharapova.
Oo.
Balita ko, gusto mo raw si...
Sino? Sino?
Anong pangalan no? Nakalimutan ko. Yung nakasalamin. Na dike yung dating talaga niya. May buhok.
Sino to?
Navratilova. Martina Navratilova.
Okay, hindi.
Ito yung mga tennis players yung aming kabataan.
Ang inabutan ko kasing Martina Hingis. Ayan,
Inabot
sinerch
ko rin yan.
Na-search ko pa kasi nakalimutan ko kung
Inabot
tama.
ko rin yan. Search, tingnan mo nga dyan si Navratilova. Ano pangalan ng Russia na
Martina Navratilova. Czech American.
Check ba siya? Patingin nga.
Oo.
There. Yung isa pa. Yung parang modela ang dating.
Mamaya pag-usapan natin kung sino yan. Pero ito, speaking of tennis pa rin, Alex is in the semis at bukas po makakalaban niya 8:30 Manila time. She will be going up against world rank number 4, Jessica Pegula.
Ayan, number 4.
Matindi yan, ha?
So pag ganito ba umakit ni rango ni
Oo, I have to confirm, pero kanina may nabasa ko na before beating Ostapenko, I think she was ranked 140 siya. Nasa 75 na daw ngayon eh. But I have to double check kung ano mismo, no? Pero one thing is for sure, she is in the top 100. So tumaas yung
From 140,
40.
malayo-layo yun.
Oo.
Napunta sa ganyan. Galing.
Ayan.
Etong sila, hindi na makakalaban. Ano pangalan to magkakapatid na yung base kwento nila sa King Richard. Malabo na yon.
Williams, Serena Williams?
Hindi na makakalaban.
Oo. Kasi yeah.
Anong pangalan ng Russian?
Tama, number 75.
Number 75.
Number 75 na siya now sa live WTA rankings.
Ano yung binanggit kong player kanina? Si Kournikova ba yun? Si Kournikova, ito yung classic na nakilala kasi hindi naman siya ganun kagaling pero kasing looks niya. Kaya yung ibang mga players gusto siyang talunin. Maganda ka.
May gigil, Ana Kournikova.
Pero nung ikaw'y atleta sa uste, walang nakakaganon sa'yo, no? Maganda ka ha, Denise Tan. Pero sila ang dudurugin mo. Not the other way
Nagkataon
around.
lang medyo successful yung team noon.
Gusto ko sa'yo, Hamble. Eto, okay, naha-humble tayo kapag tayo nagkakamali.
Yes.
Pero tong mga to,
Nako,
sila pa yung mayabang.
ibang storya
Sila
to.
na yung nagkamali, sila pa yung mayabang.
Alright, this one on the Associated Press, the headline reads, "The signal attack plan messages what we do and don't know." Let's watch this clip first from AP.
First, all I would say is the strikes against the Houthis that night were devastatingly effective. And I'm incredibly proud of the courage and skill of the troops. And they are ongoing and continue to be devastatingly effective. The last place I would want to be right now is a Houthi in Yemen who wants to disrupt freedom of navigation. So the skill and courage of our troops is on full display. It's a complete opposite approach from the fecklessness of the Biden administration. President Trump said, peace through strength will be brought back. Freedom of navigation will return, and that's exactly what we're doing. As I also stated yesterday, nobody's texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that.
So those same troops that you are proud of, do you regret putting information like the ones you did in the Signal chat that could endanger those same American service members?
Nobody's texting more plans. I know exactly what I'm doing, exactly what we're directing, and I'm really proud of what we accomplished. Successful missions that night and going forward.
This certainly will look at this, but the main thing was nothing happened. The attack was totally successful. It was, I guess, from what I understand, took place during, and it wasn't classified information. So this was not classified. Now, if it's classified information, it's probably a little bit different. But I always say you have to learn from every experience. I think it was very unfair the way they attacked Michael. He's a good person. The person that was on just happens to be a sleazebag, so maybe that's just coincidence. I don't know. He's made up a lot of stories, and I think he's basically bad for the country. But it's a failing venture, very failing venture. They're very upset, and a thing like this is publicity for them. But I don't think we should allow people that are very good, like that man sitting right at the end of the table, who's done a great job. We shouldn't allow them to be hurt by it.
Do you think that Mike Waltz made a mistake, and does he need to apologize?
No, I don't think he should apologize. I think he's doing his best. It's equipment and technology that's not perfect, and probably he won't be using it again, at least not in the very near future. What do you think?
Mr. President, you asked about lessons. I think there's a lot of journalists in this city who have made big names for themselves, making up lies about this president, whether it's the Russia hoax or making up lies about Gold Star families. And this one in particular, I've never met, don't know, never communicated with, and we are looking into and reviewing how the heck he got into this room. But I'll tell you what, the world owes President Trump a favor.
Di ba ito sinungaling na to? Okay, nag-take full responsibility na yung ungas na yan, ano?
Teka lang, easy lang, oh.
At siya mismo, yung nag-add kay Jeffrey Goldberg, yung Atlantic editor, siya yung nag-add sa Signal chat, nananahimik itong Atlantic magazine editor. In-add siya ng taong yun, si Mike Watts, at sasabihin hindi niya kilala. Pwede ba? Okay, ito pa nga si Jeffrey Goldberg, nagulat siya kasi, okay, semantics, tama yung sinabi naman ni Hegseth na we never text anything. No texts were made, ano? Hindi naman kasi text yun. Yun ay isang group chat sa Signal app. Okay. Pero the fact na ang mga high-level security ng American government ay gumagamit ng app na commercially available at easily hackable, at yung isa pang kasama sa group chat nila ay nasa Russia, di ba? Ay hindi raw talagang katanggap-tanggap at talagang the height of incompetence and irresponsibility, tinatawag nila. Hindi may ginawa ni Hegseth. Iba yung tono niya kahapon. Yung tono niya kahapon, tinawag niya sinungaling itong editor na nag-invento ran, sleazebag, etc. Pero hindi nila dinidispute na in-add nyo na sa group chat. At yung taong ito, itong si Goldberg, pumareno pa nga nung una, teka, ano itong nakuha ko? Nagtimpi pa siya at pinag-isipan, teka, baka high-level security issues to, dapat ko bang ilabas ito? May tinanong pa siya, nilabas na lang eventually. Ngayon, ang teorya ng iba, dalawa yan. Maaring baka akala nila strikes against Houthi rebels sa Yemen, baka akala nila si Houthi in the Blowfish yung involved dyan. Or lasing lang si Pete Hegseth.
Ayun.
Oo.
But,
napupunta dito.
Bukas. Bukas and 28-29, if I'm not mistaken.
Aba.
Pero ito, again, Democrats in Congress are calling for the resignation of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth amid the fallout from revelations that top national security officials discuss sensitive attack plans on Yemen over a messaging app like what we have been talking about, and mistakenly added a journalist to the claim. FYI, tama, March 28-29, pupunta dito si Hegseth, first stop niya on his first trip to Asia since his appointment.
Ang tindi, no? Tapos, pagkatapos mo ng strike, may mga emoji reactions pa talaga. May nakaganyan, may bulaklak, may flag ng Amerika at ano pa nga ba yung
Mga emojis na nakita mo.
mga emojis. May God, isa pa doon, nagchat-chat siya sa kotse niya outside a supermarket. So isipin mo, no?
Oo.
Kung ako ay brilliant Russian hacker, napakadali makuha ng mga plano.
Lalo na again, commercially available yung application kung saan sila nag-uusap-usap.
Sana nag-messenger na lang sila para mas marami emoji, di ba? Ano ba dapat? Telegram ba dapat yung ginagamit nila, Tita D?
Ewan ko, saan
Or
ba
yung
yun?
sinaunang mga BlackBerry na talagang highly encrypted talaga na, alam mo yun?
I mean, I think they would have a better idea kung ano dapat, hindi yung basta kahit anong app lang, di
Magkita
ba?
kayo.
Oo, magkita kayo.
Diba?
Pwede naman yung mag-set ng meeting.
Hindi naman to para nagpaputok lang kayo ng ano dyan sa may Binondo, di ba? High level ano to. Pero, yun nga. Pero I'm sure alam na ng mga Russians yan. So yung mga kalaban ng Amerika, alam nila.
Informed na.
Informed na. So malamang Viber group na lilipat yan. Ano pa ba yung mga sinaunang ano?
WhatsApp.
Viber group? Yung Telegram,
Mas una.
supposedly mas ano yun, di ba?
Mas secure daw.
Daw.
Oo, mas secure daw. But
Pero-
I'm not sure because you can still screenshot messages, I believe.
Totoo ba yung Telegram na nabalitaan ko ay nagbebentahan na raw doon ng mga, alam mo na, mga aliw na
Ay,
labag sa
oo,
moralidad
madaming-
namin ni Sir Ronald Llamas.
Talagang nadamay. Kailangan may kadamay ka.
labag sa aming moralidad.
Nakangiti lang tuloy sa isang gilid.
Ilang
Ito
mga
si-
Tomasino,
Sir, oh.
ang puso namin ay kay Jesus lamang.
Alam mo, may nababalitaan akong ganyan, na ganyang klaseng market daw on certain apps, including Telegram. May nagkakasuhan na sa ibang
Talaga?
bansa. Oo. May certain channels na kasi involving mga CP, mga ganyan, all that.
Involving what?
Mga CP. Basta, mamaya bubulong ko sa'yo.
CP. Ano?
Oo.
Cellphone?
Cellphone ang gamit nila sa kanilang masasamang intensyon. Basta, mamaya pag-usapan natin yan.
Si Headset, inom tayo. Alright, binabati natin lahat ng nanonood ng Afternoon Delight via live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Unahin na po natin si Alex Fuentes ng Bacolod. Sigurado nanonood yan.
Of course, Nico Cabales. Ayun, si Alex Fuentes, unang-unang Nico Cabales. And si Ralph Domingo. Congratulations daw to Miss Alex. Proud to be Pinoy.
Yun,
Marian Ledja, of course, watching from Burbank, California. Sir Hermione Hope, good afternoon, Sir Lord and Miss Denise. Alex Eala in the quarterfinals, wins the quarterfinals rather. Kahit 10% lang yung chance niya of winning. Now she is semis bound. Bea Dalisay.
Oo.
Hello, Tito Lord, Tita D. Bea.
Sabi ni Angelo Vivas, oy, terno sila.
Oo nga eh.
Tayo ba yun? Malabang tayo,
Oo,
no?
madalas kami nagtiterno, hindi kami nag-uusap.
Hermione Hope, napansin ko, Sir Lord, ang uso ngayon sa mga tennis players, yung mga gold na kwintas nila kasama na sa outfit.
Kamusta daw si Bea, sabi ni Lance. Bea!
Bea,
Bea, please confirm kung totoo yung sinabi mo ng birthday ni Lance.
na sila na lang daw.
Oo, na sila na lang daw.
Alam mo naman tayo dito.
Oo. Tayo naman ay tagapag-ugnay lang ng 2 puso.
Okay, hindi naman sinabi bugaw yung word, ah. Hermione Hope, ang top players ngayon, sila Arina Sabelenka.
Sabelenka, yes,
Ng
oo.
Belarus. Iga
Swiatek, yung tinalo ni Alex.
Poland naman to ba? Mga Eastern Europeans to, ah. Si Janik, gusto kayo apelido niya. Sinner. Nasa ka Hindi ko nakikita, oh. Janek Sinner ng Italy. Carlos Alcaraz ng Spain at lahat daw sila are all in their 20s.
Alex is just 19.
Si Ana, hindi. John Santelices, hindi ito. Hindi siya binabanggit ko.
Ay, ano
Pag
masabi
in-google ko
niya?
kasi ito, hindi na makakapagtrabaho.
Iba pa. Okay.
Hermione Hope.
Oh.
Retired na po ang Williams sister, Sir Lord.
Si Jurgab, watching from Manchester ulit. Hello! Ano oras ba sa Manchester ngayon?
Oo, basta lasing na yan. Rodel Alcantara, gusto kong outfit mo ngayon, Sir Lord, parang hunter sa safari, datingan.
Pero sa loob, teddy bear. Ay, pakita mo.
O baka sabihin ninyo, tayo ay mangangaso, no? Tayo rin po ay
Cuddly.
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 Ayan, no? Care Bears.
Cute-cute ng shirt mo.
Hindi mo na inabot yung Care Bears, ano?
Nabot ko pero hindi ko pinanood.
Sa mga bata na hindi alam yung Care Bears. Once upon a time, may isang grupo ng mga superhero na ang superpowers sila, sila yung Care Bears. Ang superpowers sila ay nagpapalabas ng mga rays of love and hope.
Sobrang cute naman.
Oo.
Oh. Yeah, napakinabutan ko sa TV yan. Tsaka
Dapat
yung
ganyan ang mga cartoons.
ano yun? Teletubbies.
Ay, ba na yun?
Oh, parang yun yung nakikita ko pa. Medyo grade school na ako, nakikita ko pa yun.
Medyo eerily psychedelic din yung Teletubbies eh. At feeling ko si Tinky Winky ay
Ano?
time out muna.
Okay.
Stick around dahil hanggang alas 3 pa kami. Magbabalik po ang Afternoon Delight.
This is AP News Minute. President Donald Trump has announced 25% tariffs on auto imports, a move the White House says will foster domestic manufacturing. But critics say the tariffs could also put a financial squeeze on automakers that depend on global supply chains. Top Trump administration national security officials were back on Capitol Hill testifying about the controversy over using a commercial texting app to discuss U.S. war plans against the Houthis in Yemen. Meanwhile, two top Senate lawmakers plan to send a bipartisan letter to Trump asking for an inspector general to investigate the matter. Thousands of Palestinians marched in northern Gaza in a second day of anti-war protests, with many demonstrators chanting against Hamas. A year after the collapse of Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge, state and local leaders honored the 6 construction workers who were killed that night. Officials say the new bridge should be finished sometime in 2028. The estimated cost, somewhere around $1.7 billion.
Alright, magandang hapon po muli. This is Afternoon Delight on One News. Ako po si Lord de Vera, siya po si Ms. Denise Tan.
In the news, Kitty Duterte and her mother, Hanilet Avancenia, are now in the Netherlands. That's to visit detained former President Digong, who's celebrating his 80th birthday tomorrow. One News editor, Jovi Francisco, has a story.
Shalito Hanilet Avancenia and her daughter Veronica Kitty Duterte made an appearance at the Scriveningen prison, the penitentiary where former President Rodrigo Duterte is currently detained awaiting trial for crimes against humanity. The mother and daughter inquired about getting permission to visit the former president, but were seen spending time with supporters outside the detention facility instead. They opted not to grant media interviews. Hanilet was heard thanking supporters. Vice President Sara Duterte told reporters recently that she's expecting Hanilet and Kitty to avail of the visitation slot for relatives on March 28, the birthday of the former president. While interacting with supporters, Kitty wished her father a happy birthday.
Good health and unta kaon na gyud siya sa ilang pagkaon dira sa sulod, di na maginahigulon. Kato lang gyud.
The mother and daughter obliged to have pictures taken with their supporters and after an hour left the penitentiary. Kitty filed a petition at the Supreme Court for her father, hoping to bring him back to the Philippines.
I don't see any action from the Supreme Court of the Philippines affecting the physical custody of Duterte in the International Criminal Court, which is a separate court with separate jurisdiction. Could you imagine the Philippine Supreme Court ordering the ICC judges, hey, I want him back? Not even President Marcos can bring him home.
The arrival of other members of the Duterte clan come at a time when the proceedings of the Crimes Against Humanity case against the former president are underway, with the prosecution panel recently submitting 181 pieces of evidence. Reporting from the ICC here at The Hague, Joby Francisco, we are One News.
Back here, former Senator Gringo Honasan and other personalities launched a signature campaign to bring back former President Duterte from The Hague. Honasan said signatures will be collected both physically and online with a desk set up at Liwasang Bonifacio. He stressed that the initiative is neither pro-Duterte nor anti-Marcos but a, quote, pro-Filipino initiative. For its part, Malacanang said Honasan has the right to file a petition but advised him to consult Duterte's legal team first.
And speaking of Malacanang, Malacanang fired back at Vice President Sara Duterte after she said that the Philippines is headed, quote, to the dumpster. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the country would be in greater danger if leaders like the Vice President, who frequently leave the country, were in charge. Castro argued that Duterte's frequent absences hinder her ability to fulfill her duties and leave her out of touch with the government's policies. The Vice President is currently in The Hague to put together her father's legal defense team.
Lugmok na tayo sa kahirapan. It seems that we are working to go to the dumpster. As I said noon, we are on this road to perdition. Somehow, walang nakikitang hope yung mga tao dahil wala din silang nakikita mula sa gobyerno.
Nawawala ang pag-asa ng mga Pilipino. Hindi ba siya yung nawawala sa Pilipinas ngayon? Hindi ba mas magiging mapupunta tayo sa dumpster kung ang magiging pangulo natin o ang magiging leader natin ay ang mga katulad nila VP Sara, mas na inuuna pang magpunta sa abroad, magsilbi sa isang tao, although tatay niya po yun, pero marami pa rin pong Pilipino na umaasa sa kanya bilang vice-presidente.
Here now is a quick rundown of more stories on One News. The DPWH says the EDSA rehabilitation project will start during Holy Week to minimize traffic disruptions. The initial work will focus on the Pasay to Guadalupe and Balintawak to Monumento sections. The MMDA is set to release a detailed traffic management plan to help motorists navigate the roadworks. COMELEC confirms that Marikina Mayor Marcelino Teodoro remains eligible to run for Congress. That's despite his suspension over alleged misuse of public funds. The poll body says that until a final court judgment is issued, Teodoro's candidacy remains valid and his name will stay on the ballot. And Senate President Chiz Escudero says the Senate will not entertain requests to move deadlines or delay the trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. This comes as he rejected the House Prosecution Panel's request to immediately summon Duterte. He noted that such actions can only occur when the Senate is in session, which resumes on June 2. Now, this is Afternoon Delight on One News. We just need to pause for another break, but we'll be right back.
This is AP News Minute. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth repeated his claim that nobody's texting war plans. He was asked about the Signal group chat that officials used to discuss plans to strike Houthi rebels in Yemen. A journalist was accidentally included. He wrote the messages reveal precise information about weapons packages, targets, and timing. President Trump signed an executive order to overhaul elections in the U.S. It demands proof of citizenship be required for federal voter registration and that all ballots be received by Election Day. Dry conditions, wind gust, and trees down by Hurricane Helene are all fueling wildfires in North and South Carolina. The National Weather Service issued a red flag warning for parts of those states and Georgia through Tuesday night. Lava began bubbling out of Hawaii's most active volcano once again Tuesday. The Kilauea volcano on Hawaii's Big Island has been erupting off and on since December.
March 27, 1997. In Nashville, Dexter King, son of Martin Luther King Jr., meets with James Earl Ray in prison for assassinating the civil rights leader.
I just want to ask you, for the record, did you kill my father?
No, I didn't.
Dexter King tells Ray, "I believe you, and my family believes you." The King family urges a new trial for Ray before he dies the following year. 2002. Comedian Milton Berle, Uncle Milty, television's first true superstar, dies in Los Angeles at age 93. A decade earlier, Berle, in an Associated Press interview, dismissed the common claim that he stole jokes.
I do not steal jokes. I just find them before they're lost.
1998. The FDA approves the drug Viagra, made by pharmaceutical company Pfizer to treat impotence in men. And 1963.
I'd like to see my work be considered mainstream, actually, without changing it any. And I'd like to see the mainstream catch up with me.
Director and screenwriter Quentin Tarantino was born in Knoxville, Tennessee. Among his films, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and the Kill Bill movies. Today in History, March 27th. Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.
And we're back. You're still watching Afternoon Delight. Thanks for staying with us. Now we get you up to speed on the latest in sports. As we reported earlier, the biggest sports story today is Alex Eala making history again after beating world number 2 Iga Swiatek. Eala secured a spot in the semifinals after winning in straight sets over the Grand Slam champion. She will face world number 4 Jessica Pegula for a final spot tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Manila time. Eala, current world number 140, is now at number 75 in the live WTA rankings. In basketball, the TNT Tropang Giga forced a winner-take-all Game 7 after a hard-fought Game 6 against Ginebra or Barangay Ginebra last night. Ronde Hollis Jefferson led the way with 29 points, while Poy Eram redeemed himself with a crucial fourth-quarter performance, scoring 10 of his 14 points. Game 7 of the PBA Commissioner's Cup is happening at the Smart Araneta Coliseum tomorrow at 7:30 p.m.
All right, after Alex Eala, here's another young adult making waves in his own field. We introduce you to a 22-year-old student from Ateneo de Manila University who innovated an artificial intelligence or AI-driven platform for farmers and agri-businesses. And welcome Aldrin Sojourner Gamayan, or Soj for short. Soj, first off, congratulations. Soj. Aldrin. Okay, konting back. Si Aldrin po ang winner ng Red Bull Basement Prize 2023, no? Siya po ang Red Bull Basement ay isang naghahanap sila all over the world ng mga batang mga innovators and entrepreneurs, no? At ang platform na basihan ay artificial intelligence. At ito yung nagbibigay ng pagkakataon sa mga kagaya ni Soj na ma-develop palalo, no? At mas mapakinabangan, hindi lang ng kanilang sarili kundi ng lipunan, yung mga
farmers.
At sa pagkakataon ito, ang ginawa ni Soj ay AgriConnect PH ang tawag niya. Soj, welcome to Afternoon Delight. Congratulations.
Hi, Lord. Good afternoon. Maraming salamat po for this opportunity.
Alright. Kasama ko ang iyong tita Denise, Soj.
Hi, Soj.
Hello po,
Congratulations.
Ms. Denise. Magandang hapon po.
Alright. So, okay, ang AgriConnect ay parang ginagawa ang trabaho ng isang sangay ng gobyerno na parang nagugulat pa rin tuwing panahon ng tag-init, ng tubig na naman ng mga pananim natin. Okay, can you tell us more about AgriConnect PH and what were your inspirations for developing it?
Yeah, so I think two things. Like the first one is I come from a family of farmers in Ilocos Norte, and I have an uncle who does rice farming for a living. And para sa kanya noon, parang sa akin, nung nagkukwento siya sa akin, ang mahirap lang sa farming is nabibilan ka sa init ng araw, ganyan. Pero iba pa rin pala yung feeling na ang hirap-hirap ng, ang dami mo ng ginugol na oras at panahon, ay hindi mo pa mapapabalik yung ani mo dahil nga sa mga risks that they can't detect fast enough. So yung mga peste, mga insects, yung hindi nila nakikita kung masyado lang tuyot yung soil and whatnot. So that was the very first one. And then the second one, last year, I was given this honor and privilege to immerse myself in Singapore's startup ecosystem. So I interned for a startup that helped mga shrimp farmers manage the risks of Vietnam. And so when I got back to the Philippines after that 6-month immersion, I had a background, I had history with my uncle, and I had this immersion experience in Singapore, and I kind of merged them all together, and AgriConnect came to be.
Yung app mo daw would help farmers in protecting their crops from risks like mga peste, unpredictable weather, by using ano exactly saan papasok yung artificial intelligence dito sa system na
Yes. So how I would always describe it to people is 3 steps. So the first one is we have sensors. So my hardware coming, my mismong interaction and my connection mismo sa land. So we plant them dun sa plantation area ng mga rice. And then from then on, yung mga sensors na yun, we call them IoT or Internet of Things, which is basically a fancy word of saying that it's actually very much sensitive to conditions in the soil. So it can detect soil moisture, if it's too acidic, yung water levels masyado bang mataas or mababa, and then pest and insect, kung gumagalaw ba siya, so ano yung gumagalaw na pest, insect most likely. And then from the sensors, where you get the data, it will be sent out to our app through the cloud system that they call it. So yung app namin, dun yung may AI. So kung alam na po natin ngayon yung tinatawag nating ChatGPT, na kung may tatanong ka sa kanya, may sasagot siya sa'yo, ganun din yung mechanism niya. From the data that it will be getting from the farmland, i-interpret ng AI yon, then bibigyan kanya ng the sensor detect. So it kind of uses the stoplight system to categorize it kasi ang isa pa sa mga natuklasan ko from my insights with farmers is that sometimes kung may ganun man, hindi nila alam kung anong uunahin nila. So we're using a stoplight system to categorize the risks. So red means it's serious, yellow means it's mild, and green they can go on as normal. And third step, the farmer acts on the inside. So in this way, mas naging assistant siya ng farmer para hindi sila mo-overwhelm. Ang kailangan nilang gawin ay to act on the AI inside.
Okay, Saj, have you been able to talk to these farmers na may nakatry na ba? What's their assessment? At ano yung feedback coming from them?
Yeah, right now we're still in development phase, Ms. Denise. And we've been talking to 90 agribusinesses and farmers, and we're thinking of first of all, how interested they are we solving the right problem for them, and how willing are they to spend on this. So all of these are currently being considered as we're already doing the research and development phase. In the next week, investors and people that could help us build the technology. But I now have a co-founder with me that helps me build the technical capabilities of AgriConnect to make it happen.
Okay, may ilang tanong, Sodjo, no? Paano kunyari kung yung area ng taniman ay hindi covered o hindi abot, halimbawa, ng signal ng internet? Minsan, iba, wala pang kuryente, no? Pangalawa, itong AgriConnect PH ba, gaano ba katinding learning curve nito? Kasi aminin natin, marami pa rin tayong mga kababayan na magsasaka na medyo magiging challenge para sa kanila o marami sa kanila ang intindihin ang paggamit ng mga ganitong teknolohiya. Sojourner. Wala yata.
Mamaya. Sige. Alamin natin yung mga...
Yeah, sorry. Ba ako?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Ayun. Sorry po, my Wi-Fi is not the best, pero I got the questions on electricity, yung connectivity, and then yung learning curve. So I'll start with yung mismong connectivity. I think the biggest way for us to mitigate that is really through partnerships. So there are also people in the private sector that has reached out to me to also provide help in having more connectivity. So That's the external factor kind of thing. But we're also doing it within the team right now. We're developing sensors in such a way that we will use minimal internet connectivity. So kung iisipin mo na lang natin may mga sensors tayo, and then yung iisang parang may central system na kumukuha lahat ng data from that, yung isang central system na lang yon yung nangangailangan ng internet. And then that internet can only, and the use of the internet will only happen maybe twice in the span of 24 hours. So in that sense, that's where the partnership and then the internal capabilities come in. That's how we mitigate the first risk. And the second risk naman in terms of the learning curve is really a lot of partnerships. So I'm currently in talks with national government agencies that are currently conducting mga workshops and seminars in terms of how they could reach out to farmers. And that's exactly how we want to do it. That's why we're trying to make AgriConnect very much accessible and user-friendly. So we're using like a stoplight system para hindi na kailangan ng super technical knowledge at nagigets na alagad nila kung ano yung dapat nilang gawin. So in these two ways, these two things, we hope to make it more seamless for people to try out AgriConnect in their farms.
Kayo ba yung kurso nyo sa Ateneo na Comtech or Communications Technology, ay ito ba simple, ito ba yung mga parang ordinaryo lang ito, or bahagi ng pinag-aaralan nyo ay gantong-ganto talaga?
Actually nga, Sir Lord, good question. Like, yung course ko is really inclined more into the business side of things. That's like, in the sense of like how co-founders are in a startup scene, I would be the more business person trying to understand the customers, how much they're willing for them to pay this. And also my IT subject naman kami, but it was just an introduction to programming and coding, which is like an eagle's eye view of what I would want to produce within AgriConnect. That's why I now have a technical co-founder who has really learned AI and machine learning engineering. He's had 6 years of experience in the field, and dun kami nagtutulungan in that aspect. Because honestly, I can't do this all alone.
Okay lang. Soj, okay lang. Si Steve Jobs, hirap mag-code. Si Wozniak yung pinagtrabaho niya. Tama, okay lang yun.
Kanya-kanya.
Si Elon Musk hindi magaling mag-code. Kaya okay lang yan.
Yes, may template pala tayo. Tama.
Soj, may tanong ako. Kasi if I'm not mistaken, yung pagpa-plant ng sensor, that's supposed to be, let's say, in all four corners per acre. Tama ba? What if it's a little bit bigger?
Sorry. Yeah, yung sensors, the goal and the proposition is one sensor can cover at least 2 to 3 hectares at the minimum. That's why like our business model kind of scales depending on how large your agribusiness is. So we're gonna provide you, if you're a small scale agribusiness, our small scale qualifies from 2 to 5 hectares. So you would need 4. If it's higher than that, you need times 2, times 3 of that sensors.
Alam mo, Soj, sa mga kababayan natin, ang mga tinalo ni Soj ng mga finalists, mula sa bansang Egypt, isang nag-develop ng smart shower head designed to encourage water-saving behavior. At isa may kinalaman din sa tubig. Isang washing machine na water-saving. Yung isa naman ay, ito naman, automated note-taking tool. Ordinaryo na lang yan. Pero essentially, pitching ito, Soj, So, minsan may mga nagsasabi na minsan yung idea, simple, pero magaling yung nagpe-present. Sa pagkakataong ito, hinahanap ba nila, Soj, yung plausibility ng iyong proposal? Or kahit yung mga medyo far-fetched ba ay kayang ma-justify, halimbawa?
No, of course. I think that's a very valid point, Sir Lord. We've been getting a lot of traction from news articles that have been talking about AgriConnect. And pag sa comment section, nababasa ko talaga, parang, posible naman yan. Hindi naman yung pwede ganyan. And I do give merit to the point also na it's also in the pitching. But I guess, for me, like, this IoT AI app, I guess, combination is existing now currently in different fields, across different industries. So definitely the proof of concept actually works. But I guess the challenge now is how do we actually apply it to a country as fragmented as the Philippines? That is why nananawagan po ako kung may mga government agencies dito or mga private companies that could help me like also kind of mobilize this. Although I've been talking to a few within myself, within my network, I do believe that it's really a difficult thing to do, but it's not impossible. But then like if the proof of concept lang naman yung question, it really exists and it really is currently being done in different countries like India and the US. It's just a matter that we're kind of scaling it down to the Philippines, going back to what Filipino farmers actually need. Because sometimes we can't really just bring a technology from another country and bring it here. Kasi iba-iba tayo ng kondisyon. That's why we're doing AgriConnect PH as something very Philippines focused because we're solving where the Filipinos are currently.
So ikaw ba ay yung bahagi ng premyo mo na trip to Silicon Valley ay nagawa mo na ba? O hindi pa?
Hindi pa po, Sir Lord. Actually, I'm heading to the US next week for another summit with Stanford University. So it's also like a startup summit. So they gather 30 global student entrepreneurs from around the world. And I was gladly to be chosen as one of them. So I'm flying to the US next week. And then yung prize ko for Red Bull, which is like an incubation in Silicon Valley, will happen in May. So I'll be going there again 2 months from now. So ang plan ko po going to Stanford the first time next week is to just introduce myself to them and what I do. And hopefully in the second round, I get more investors, more advisors that could help us build that. And ayun nga, like, here, the picture right here is Japan. So I also pitched AgriConnect in Japan last month. And glad to share that we also won. So it's also with Musashino University in Tokyo. And they're very much interested in how AgriConnect can also solve Japan's farming problem. So hopefully this is also something that could be scalable around the world, but definitely focused and first and foremost for the Filipinos.
Soj, nakakatawa, Soj, no? Kasi para sa maraming bata, hindi sexy yung topic ng agriculture. Kami nila, Denise, ang tinatanim lang namin ang sama ng loob, no?
Pero dagdag lang natin, partner, yung summit ni Soj sa Stanford is 100% scholarship. Tama, Soj? Also?
Yes, they covered for our day-to-day needs there. So, super big help po sa akin yun.
Tama. Soj, if I may suggest, baka pwede ka mag-imbento naman, sunod naman yung app na AI-based din, na malalaman niya kung dadating yung mga bibili ng mga lupa para gawing subdivision, di ba? At para mapigilan sila na makita yun, di ba?
Pwede, Sir Lord. Gusto, kailangan na natin yan. I think that's another barrier. That's for another time. But aside from land conversion as an issue, which is very much serious and very much like a barrier for farmers, it's also like the age of farmers. The median age for farmers in the Philippines is 57 years old. So another pipeline is how do we encourage students, young people like me, to actually embrace the idea of agriculture? Kasi nga, kami po growing up, laging sinasabi sa amin, mag-aral kayo na mabuti para hindi kayo matulad sa amin na nagsasaka, nagpapakainit. Pero sa akin naman po, hindi naman na po kailangan na natin i-redefine ang perspective natin sa agriculture. Right now with AgriConnect, hopefully they can see like a Gen Z person working on agriculture. Hopefully it also encourages them na maybe pwede naman sila mag-work in agriculture but helps me with AI, with the data. It doesn't have to be always on the farm. Since the world is also technologically advancing, I think we should also advance our perspectives in agriculture and let us see the opportunities that lie for Gen Zs there.
Ayan. Nako, napakaganda na sinabi mo, Soj. Pero maraming salamat. Pag super sikat ka na at parang Elon Musk, huwag kang sasali sa Doge, ha? Parang awa mo na. Huwag mo gagayahin si Elon Musk pagtanda mo. Maraming salamat. AgriConnect PH Innovator, Aldrin. Soj Gamayon, maraming salamat, Aldrin.
All right, here's another feel-good story. Did you know that some of the best therapy comes on 4 legs?
What?
Apparently.
Ow.
Hindi, iba pa ata to. An Irish farmer's alpacas are proving just that, bringing joy and comfort to elderly residents. Let's watch this.
Keep going.
Alpacas are on the loose in this Irish nursing home.
He's full of chash, isn't he?
They are here to do a job, provide therapy for the residents.
I'm just trying to think.
The animals belong to farmer Joe Phelan, also known as Alpaca Joe.
Well done, boys. Well done.
When they're not roaming his farm, Phelan brings them into nursing homes and schools for animal therapy.
They get to interact with them, they get to feel them, they look into their big, huge brown eyes, which just are so relaxing. And they might hear him humming Alpaca's hum. and they're very gentle.
Phelan ditched his office job for farming a decade ago. He bought 7 alpacas and sold his home to buy a farm to graze them.
Here, Oscar. Come here.
He says he then noticed how the alpacas helped ease anxiety among the elderly and people with additional needs.
And we just found that it lifted everybody's spirits, you know, and that kind of has led into more work around the therapeutic side of the business that we do.
Phelan's business has grown. He now has 71 alpacas and employs 11 people.
Well done, Oscar. You're doing really well.
But only certain members of the herd are able to provide therapy.
We have certain boys and girls that are suitable for the therapeutic work and others that are not. You know, they might be more introverted. We have a couple of drama queens here, you know.
Sinead Megan, the Oakfield Nursing Home's activities coordinator, says residents were thrilled for the visit.
Just to see the smiles on the faces. And I think it triggered a lot of memories for people that would have grown up on farms, that would have been farmers. And I think as well, the feel of the wool brought back a lot of memories to people, and especially to the women that do the knitting.
Yeah. Now.
Alright, speaking of pets, sila ang tunay na bida sa araw na ito, sa ating segment na talaga namang hahawak-hawakan mo pa ulit-ulit at sasabihin mo, ang cute! I saw the signs. Anong meron? Pusa edition. Sa Ingles?
Ano?
Feline.
Saan na naman tayo mapupunta nito? Okay. Pakita na natin.
Okay, ang sabi ng...
Ayan.
Oh, sige.
Paisang kutos nga para swerte.
Okay.
Yung
Ito yung...
lucky cat.
Ano ba tawag sa ganyan? Gumaganon-ganon? Oo. Pero grabe yung muscle na to, ah. Oo, nagsisteroid siguro to. Next. The Rock. Ito naman ay...
The cat. Kasi iba yung color nung isang
yung
art
tato.
niya. Okay. Puro pusa, Ay, ano yung nasa taas? Teka lang.
Pasa na natin. Pakialamerong pusa to. Good morning, Lovey. Gising ka na?
Tulog pa. Pusa niya to. Nakakainis.
Opo. Para sa mga kaibigan natin, hindi nakakaintindi ng Tagalog. Sa English, this is her...
Cat.
Cat.
Oh.
Alam nyo, ha?
Okay, send us your photos and memes. Kung may makita po kayo, send them to afternoondelightON@gmail.com.
Sayang yung Bring Rod wala, bukas na lang yun.
Kita ko lang yun eh.
Gusto ko yun eh. Bring Rod we go back home.
Okay, that will...
Pag nagsabi nun ay si Ian Veneracion o kaya si Coco Martin. Well, we go.
That will have to do it for us this Thursday, March 27. Thank you for joining us here and thank you for watching Afternoon Delight. I'm Denise Tan.
Join us again tomorrow. Lourdes De Vera ang pangalan ko. 2 p.m. bukas pa rin. Ito po ang Afternoon Delight.